Hello, friends. If you're new here, hello. My name's Brandon. If you are returning, why? No, just kidding. Welcome back. Today's project is going to be much
Much smaller than the last one.
I just don't have a lot of time for a big project right now, and that's okay, because little projects are fun too. And honestly, this is one of those projects that I've been putting off for like 10 months now, so it needed to be done. No time like the present. Am I right? So I've had this blank wall staring me dead in the face ever since I moved into this house. That was over a year ago. And about 10 months ago, I decided I was going to do this little gallery wall situation and display some art. So I purchased these prints on Amazon, and they've been sitting on my dresser collecting dust ever since. The problem is, I haven't been able to find any picture frames that I like enough to purchase. And I don't know if you've dabbled in the world of picture frame sales, but they're not cheap. Bless you. My dog just sneezed. Bless you again, my goodness. What are you doing? Get it together. Get it together. What was I saying? Talking about the gallery wall. Where was I? Oh, picture frames. They're expensive. Long story short, I decided I'm going to make some. So materials you'll need for this project. Number one, you're going to need some square dowels. The width can be your choosing depending on how wide you want your frame. I went with 1/2 inch. These dowels usually come about 36 inches long. You're going to have to cut them down to size. I'll show you that later in the video. How many you need will be determined by how many frames you're making. I'm making 6 frames, the largest frame being an 8x10. I estimated about 1 dowel per frame, so I got 6 dowels for this project. You'll also need some wood glue, hot glue gun with some glue sticks, and some of these little picture frame brackets. I don't know if you can see those. I got these on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. And if you want to color your picture frame, you'll need some wood stain or paint. And last but certainly not least, you are going to need some art. Like I said, I got these off of Amazon because I'm lazy. But if you are looking for some really cool artwork, the Metropolitan Museum's website has this really cool feature called open access. And it allows you to download pictures of actual artwork that they have in their collection, copyright free. Once it's downloaded, you can either print them at home or have them printed. So to do that, you're just going to go to the Metropolitan's website, which is metmuseum.org. Then under the art tab, you're going to select Met Collection. From there, you can narrow down your search by typing a style or a subject. Click go, and then you want to make sure you select open access. And that's it. Use the filters to narrow down your search and download as much art as you want. Then just print them at home or have them printed somewhere else. Anyway, since these are already cut and stained, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee and send you back in time to get caught up. Hello, it's me, past Brandon. So I have 3 5x7 pictures and 3 8x10 pictures. So I'm going to be taking these dowels and just cutting them at a 45-degree angle, like that. For the 5x7 pictures, I'm going to need 2 pieces with an inside width of 4 3/4 and 2 pieces with an inside width of 6 3/4. I'm essentially just taking the total width and length of the pictures themselves and subtracting 1/4 inch. And following the same rule for the 8x10 pictures, I'm going to need 2 pieces that are 7 3/4 inch on the inside width, and 2 pieces that are 9 3/4 inch on the inside width. 9 3/4.
There must be a mistake. This is length of 9 3/4. There's no such thing.
I'm going to be using a miter saw for this, but if using a tool like that is trepidatious for you, or if you just don't have access to one, a handsaw will do the same job. Welcome back to my ASMR channel. Okay, so this is going to be pretty self-explanatory. We're just going to glue these suckers together, and that'll be that. Make sure you sort your sizes out first, just so you know you're gluing the right pieces together. Or if you want to be reckless like me, just throw them all in a pile and hope for the best. All you're going to need is just a little dot. What is this? I just used this. So you're just going to need a little dot of glue. It's not going to take much. And then what I normally like to do with wood glue is kind of just rub it together a little bit and then like pull it apart a little bit until you feel it get tacky, and then just hold it together for a few seconds. So I'm going to improvise here because I started to put these together and I realized a couple things. One, it's really hard to keep these together without keeping a constant pressure. And 2, I don't feel like waiting for the glue to dry. So I have a staple gun, and I'm just going to see what happens if I try to staple these together. I think it worked. Let's try doing the other 3 corners. So aggressive. That worked really well. So if you don't feel like waiting for the glue to dry, get a staple gun and staple it together. I'm still going to do the glue on all of these just so that it really is secure, because as you can see, it's not the most stable. But once the glue dries, hopefully this will be pretty solid. And we're just going to repeat the process for the other 5 frames. And for those of you that are concerned about my table because I haven't put anything down to protect it, mind your business. Just kidding. You might recognize this table from my last video because it is my old dining room table. We've traded up, folks. We no longer care about her. We no longer are concerned about her well-being. No, but seriously, make sure you put something down to protect your table. You guys, I feel really bad about what I said about my table. It's not sitting well with me. I do need you, table. I just no longer care what you look like. That's sweet, right? It's not about the looks, it's about the personality. gotta tell you, this definitely feels way more like a craft than a DIY. Are they the same thing? Is a craft a DIY project? I mean, I'm doing it myself. You know how all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares? Maybe it's like that. All crafts are DIYs, but not all DIYs are crafts. Well, that's the hot take of the day. Let me know in the comments if you think a craft is a DIY. Okay, so these are all glued and stapled. So what we're going to do now is just attach these little brackets so we can hang them on the wall. Now these brackets did come with these little screws. I'm not going to use these because, as I've said several times in this video, I'm lazy. So what we're going to do instead is hot glue them. So the easiest way possible to do this is to take your bracket, put it at the center of the top of the frame, take a pen, and just mark those holes. From there, take your glue gun, and you want to be quick because this kind of dries fast, and you're just going to do 2 dots of glue and toss that right on there and press down until it cools. Should only take a couple seconds, honestly. And that's it. Alright, so I've got all the brackets on the frames. Even though I stapled the frames to save some time, I do want to give the glue a little bit of time to cure. I'll probably give it like 20 minutes, which is not nearly enough time, but in the spirit of cutting corners, we're just going to roll with it. So I'll see you in 20 minutes. You guys, I made a mistake on the world's simplest project. So all of the 8x10 art runs horizontally, but I glued the brackets on to run vertically. So I'm just going to pop these off. I wouldn't be able to just pop them off if I used the actual screws. Let's see how easy this is actually. Oh, that's on there. That's on there real good. Okay. Hot glue. Look at that. I think I'm going to get like a butter knife or something to pry this off. Let's try this. It's all about that torque. I learned something in physics. Cool. So now I'm just going to reglue these on, and then I'll see you back in 20 minutes. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. We're just going to continue whether they're dry or not. To make this as simple as possible, I'm just going to tape the art to the back of these frames because I don't have to explain that, just because it's simple. Like that. That's cute. So we're going to take a little detour. Consider it a bonus project, if you will. As I was hanging the art, I felt like it was missing something. So I'm going to make a little wall vase planter thing. I don't know, I can envision it in my head. I don't really know what they're called, but you know, it's going to hang on the wall and I can put flowers in it. To make this, I am going to be using polymer clay. Reason being, I had some left over in the garage from a project I was working on in December, and it'll be perfect for this. And honestly, before I do anything, can I just say how much I love polymer clay? The condition I left this in 5 months ago. Offensive. Like, what was the rubber band even for? What was the purpose? It did nothing. It's wide open. I just shoved this in a drawer, half open, and still usable. Reason being is polymer clay needs to be heated in the oven in order to cure. So unless you keep your house temperature at a scolding 275, this stuff is going to stay soft. So I just used a piece of parchment paper and a rolling pin to roll this out. This will be the back of my vase. And I don't have clay tools, so I'm just going to use a butter knife. And I'm kind of going for just an organic kind of look, so I'm not really striving for perfection here. There we go. That'll be the back piece. I'm going to make a little hole here to hang it on the wall. I feel like I'm back in elementary school making those little pinch pots, you know? This is giving a lot of serotonin for me right now, I gotta say. And there we are. It's adorable. Little pinch pot, little vase. I'm gonna get this guy in the oven. I'll see you back when it's out and cooled. All right, so we're baked. We're cooled, we're ready to move on. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick coat of paint on this. You could just leave it as is, but the white's too plain for me. I need a pop of color. I have this burnt orange acrylic paint that I'm going to use, but rather than just painting this on as it is, I'm going to add a little bit of baking powder to the paint. Basically, what this will do is just add a nice texture to the paint. So it'll give it more of a stone finish once it's done. Well, you guys, as you can tell from my costume change, it's a new day. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button. Maybe leave a little comment, say hello. As I said in my last video, there will be more videos to come in the future. If you're not already following me on social media, but you'd like updates on when new content will be coming, go ahead and follow me. I'm really only active on Instagram, but I do post updates to Facebook as well. That's going to be Brandon Hooper for both of those. And that's all I have for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.